Hey y'all, welcome back to It's Been a Journey podcast. I'm your host Chanel, and tonight we have a great episode for you. Let me get my thing situated where we can share this thing right quick. Make sure nobody miss out. And look, tonight you are free to chime in, ask the questions, make comments, even like concerns. We ain't gonna put nobody on the hot spot. But hey, I want to do a men, maybe invite some men or a man to rebuttal this situation about loving her. You don't know me. That's what we're talking about tonight. We're talking about that conversation of maybe if she just feeling you don't know her, right? That's what we're talking about tonight. Let me make sure that I'm sharing it on all the social media. Shout out to all my Instagram followers that's on here tonight. I appreciate y'all being in the building. So, hey, y'all, welcome back to It's Been a Journey podcast. I am your host, Chanel, and tonight we stepping into something that might make you laugh a little, nod your head, and maybe even sit back and be like, what this girl talking about? Like, wait, is she talking about me? I might be. Tonight episode is You Don't Know Me. And listen, this is not for like just anybody. This is for the married folk, the dating folk. This could even be, you know what? I take that back. This could be even for your coworker. We're trying to figure things out, right? Because one thing about it, y'all, some men think they know women. And we see it all the time, all over TikTok, all over Facebook. Most of the conversation about who we are coming from men. And sometimes I be looking like, so we ain't got nothing to say about who we are, right? Like real life. Some men think they know women throughout and through. And hey, they might do, but don't nobody know us like us. And look, just because you've been, with her a long time, come on, ladies. I hope you're on here with me tonight. You learn one version of her. One. There's many facets, or worse, y'all. You loving her based on the last woman you dealt with. And that's a lot of the issues too. You didn't leave that previous relationship. You didn't leave that woman there. You didn't brought her over to your current relationship. Yeah. And baby, let me tell you something. And it's true. That's how relationships start breaking down without nobody even arguing. It's because you still facing the other woman with your current wife, with your current fiance, with your current dating partner. And I'm not doing this alone tonight. I'm just getting started. And my beautiful daughter, co-host, 17-year married, okay, my real life daughter and getting her perspective. We're just gonna have a conversation. And look, y'all can chime in. Make sure you like, tag, and share. And y'all welcome to the stage, Sherelle. Come on, give her a shout out.
Hey everybody, how y'all doing? My name is Sherelle, as she said before. If you hear noise in the background, y'all, I am at home and there are a buku of people here, so excuse all that. But nice to see everyone and let's get this conversation started.
Yeah, because I'm tell you, we had a time we had to switch from the computer to the phone, but we know it's gonna be good tonight, right? It is. It's gonna be good. So right here, we're gonna talk about some real issues. So I'm gonna go ahead and say it plainly, right? Do you think, Sherelle,
Hmm.
that a woman changing is good or bad in a relationship?
It depends on which way she's changing
Mm-hmm.
because some changes can be growth
Mm-hmm.
and some changes can be her changing back into that old girl you knew before you got with her. So it depends on
Mm,
which way we changing, whether it's good or bad.
right. Not the old girl.
Listen, now sometimes you have to go back and drag her up here with you a little bit, just to let them know, hey, 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 don't get it twisted. I'm here now,
Right.
but I grew up from here,
Hmm.
and I know how to take it here.
Right.
Here.
Because I'm gonna
So
tell you, we involved, and it's like most time a relationship can keep us stuck,
hmm
right? And a
hmm
healed woman is not the same woman if she was unhealed when you met. And sometimes they think that as, I guess you would say, being combative, but no, that's healed, knowing her
hmm
boundaries, right?
hmm 100%.
We trying to figure that thing out because he started loving her on memory,
hmm
and then it started seeming like what he living with a stranger.
In a sense. So when
Hmm.
we talk about changing, and y'all know, anybody y'all didn't know me from being here before, y'all know I like to use my own self as an example. Now, if my own self make you feel like that's yourself, then just know we in this together, friend. I ain't talking about you. I'm talking about us together. But like me, um, I had a child at 13, so my responsibility and my dedication to making sure this is done, that is done, this is done, that is done, this is done, that is done, solely relied on me, right?
Hmm.
So when I got married, that's who he married. He married the independent woman that had to do it all on her own, never had to ask nobody, never had to beg nobody. If it got to be done, I'm going to do it.
And your mom
Right. And I ain't want to throw you under the bus, but since you said it,
and
okay.
granny.
So I was raised by women that did it
Hmm.
on their own, which in turn taught me and my sister to do it on our own. And
Hmm.
when I say do it on our own, I mean everything from fixing window panes, dressers, doors, cars, anything that we had to do, we
Cutting
had to do
grass,
it.
painting, right?
We had to do all that on our own.
Hmm.
And so when I got married, that's who he married.
Mm.
The dictator, the this is how it's gonna be, this how it's gonna go, this is what we're gonna do, because that's what I was used to.
Right.
But at some point I had to change because it's no
Hmm.
longer me.
Hmm.
It's me and him.
Right.
Now, the change that came about in that was me learning to submit in areas and allowing him to lead.
Hmm.
Now, the old me would have told that version of me, you must be out your head. You really gonna sit here and let him, and you gonna sit here and just not say, you not gonna do, you just gonna do nothing.
Hmm.
And it took growth, and that growth hurt.
Hmm.
But I did change and become that person.
Right.
And within that, it allowed him a chance
Hmm.
to change and grow into the leader, in the provider, in
Hmm.
the whatever else needed he needed to be. But first, I had to change who I was to move out of his way.
Right. And sometimes you, even in that, we're gonna talk about strong women because like she said, we was raised by a strong mother. By the time they was born, my mom and father had been together over 20 some years and they was divorced now. So granny
hmm
was the only person there. So she, in that term, my dad really gave us our independence. Like when the boys cut grass, he told us, y'all go out there and cut those hedges. And but when they got a divorce and when the girls came about, my mom stepped in with the independence because she had her own stuff on her own,
hmm
working and everything. But my dad made sure we knew how to cut the grass, we knew how to change a tire, we knew how to do that. He did that.
hmm
And so after he and they separated, then she just took it on and then she just flourished it over to the girls. So in changing, whether you know her from beginning or now, we do evolve. And then, like she
hmm
said, she had to learn how to submit.
hmm
But let me tell you something, it's hard to submit to someone
hmm
that take that submission and just do whatever with it and don't respect it, right? First Peter 3:7, husbands dwell with them according to knowledge. And that means study her, learn her, understand her, be intentional about who she is now and not who she used to be. And Sherelle, like when you said at the beginning, some men can get comfortable with the woman being
Mm-hmm.
strong like that, and then they get
Mm-hmm.
relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
So how did y'all combat that?
That's not what he ever wanted.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Now, at first, it was okay. But then after a while, that little friction starts where it's like, well, I don't want to do that. I want to do
Mm-hmm.
this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you can do that, but I'm telling you what we're gonna do. So that's how it first started. It was just a little friction.
mm-hmm.
And then it came down to the downright, you don't tell me what to do. I do
Mm-hmm.
what I want to do. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
grown man. You ain't my mama.
Right.
And me being me, y'all, this is how I talk. I promise y'all don't get offended. Nigga, I ain't trying to be your mama. Like, I ain't trying. But in a sense, no, I was not trying to be his mama.
Mm-hmm.
But I had been a mama so long that I
So
was
long.
treating him as if though
Mm-hmm.
I was his mama. So no,
Mm-hmm.
that's not my intention. That's not what I'm trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
But that's exactly how it's coming off.
Right.
So now that conversation started the big boom
Mm.
because now here I am. Okay, I ain't gotta be your mama. I'm not gonna do, and I ain't finna say, and I ain't gonna da 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 and da 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 da. And that's when the big shifting came to
Mm-hmm.
where my dad had to step in.
Mm-hmm.
My husband and my daddy have a great relationship, y'all. I promise y'all, I'm so grateful for my daddy because my husband needed a man that he can confide in that had been where he was, done what he did. And he was able to do that with my daddy, where in turn my daddy was able to come and relate the emotions and the feeling of a man without me being threatened.
Right.
Because see, he could have came and told me that same thing, and I probably rah, 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 rah.
Mm-hmm.
But my daddy said, "Real man, let me tell you something." He said, "Now, as a man, certain stuff you just want to do, and it took me to bite it. It took me to bite that bullet, but that's definitely where it started. It started with just that I don't want to,
Mm-hmm.
and it blossomed into, well, don't do. I ain't doing none of it.
Right.
But see, that was wrong on my end because yeah, I heard him, but was I listening? He
Mm.
was trying to grow as a man, but I was hindering his growth because I wouldn't allow him the space to grow.
Right. So in that you saw yourself in the mirror and you changed,
Mm-hmm. And I
right?
changed. Mm-hmm.
Now y'all see how that conversation we was talking about loving who she is now versus who she was. But even in that, it's two folds to that,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because Genesis 2:24 said, and they shall become one flesh. And you can't become one if you don't take time to understand one another.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna tell
100%.
you what now. The thing with me is, and I say this and be honest, because my daughter probably heard me say it before, when my mom and dad was going through their situation and circumstances, and I remember as a young girl, I never could understand why you stayed so long, but she had her reasoning, right? Because we was young, and back then they want you to work it out, and they want you to sit there with it until it form into what it's supposed to be. But
Mm-hmm.
me being as a child, seeing my mom hurt, right? It's no, if you from where we from, you already know. Hey, Maria. And so seeing her hurt, I remember I said out my mouth, they ain't gonna never be me. Right? Because I guess I developed that how long is it gonna take for them to realize what they're doing?
Mm-hmm.
Or are you doing it because I allowed it? You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
My mom said if she probably would have let daddy go earlier, he probably would have came back and done
Mm-hmm.
better. But she kept holding on when he
Mm-hmm.
wanted to be let go of, right? I
Mm-hmm.
ain't that. And and I have to pray about it because it's not, I don't think I constantly pray this. I do not want to get weary and well doing, but who I was at 20, I'm 52. I'm not that girl no more. I'm not that woman no more. My intentions are pure and I tell it from the door. And I mean everything I say. After a while, I ain't gonna care nothing about it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So loving a person that been through a lot, that takes some ingenuity, and it takes some listening to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You you
Mm-hmm.
you gotta listen, especially women. If they talking, that means they're lacking something,
Yes.
right? So let me
100%.
give you 5 ways. We're gonna talk about 5 ways, okay?
Mm-hmm.
A man can know his woman better. We
Okay.
doing this, and men, if y'all want to come on next week, holler at me. You know, I can get these things together in 24 to 48 hours. All I need to know what you want to talk about.
And
But
we can
number
get it
one,
going.
right. Number one, study her like you study what you value.
Mm-hmm.
What you think
Mm.
about that?
So, y'all, believe it or not, I talk to more couples than people realize.
Mhm.
Because me and my husband got married so young, and we are one of the few couples that have lasted over a decade, gonna go into two. I'm sorry, y'all. Every time I think about it, gonna go into 2 decades.
Hallelujah.
A lot of people come in, they ask, well, mainly my opinion. My husband don't talk a lot, but they come in, ask my opinion about different things, and what do I think about a lot of stuff. And one of the main things that married people or people in relationships ask me, how can I get them to see that this is what I need? How can I
Mhm.
get them to see that I need this? Or how can I say that I need that? And I say, well, explain it to me.
Mhm.
A lot of times, especially with women, a lot of times when women want something or they're in need of something, affection, time, money, believe it or not, just the intimacy without the actual intercourse, when they just need loving on, they're not loud when they say it.
Mhm.
They're subtle. A lot of times women be like, oh, it's been a while since we done did such and such and such and such.
Mhm.
Oh, I remember the last time we went to a park and we just walked around, and oh, I really wish we can go watch this new movie coming out. So
Mhm.
that's how it would come across. But are you really paying attention to her to know when the shift changed? Because once she starts saying it and you don't act on what she said, now she's finna start reacting.
Right.
So now you're gonna realize, instead of her being up and giddy on the weekend, she kind of moseying around the house,
Mhm.
laying around, not doing much. Things that used to excite her, not really exciting her no more.
Mhm.
Things that you used to say that'll make her giggle and laugh, is not making her giggle and laugh no more. But because you didn't pay attention to the words, you didn't notice the signs. Now you got
Mhm.
an angry woman standing in front of you ready to
Right. Cause
because she, in her mind, she's throwing out every signal, every red light, bright light, SOS sign. She's doing everything she feels
to
that
do
she
it
needs,
respectfully.
right, before it turns into
You'll never take me nowhere. I've been sitting in this house all day. You don't even try to
mm-hmm,
do it. And then you
mm-hmm,
used to do so and so. And that's what
mm-hmm,
they call nagging. But nagging is actually, I tried to do it subtle. I tried to
mm-hmm.
love on you. You know, if you can remember stats, right?
And that's what I was gonna
Game
say.
and business move, you can remember that what makes her safe, right?
If you can remember the last time that your football team went to the Super Bowl back in 1978, you can remember that every other weekend she liked to go and sit at the duck pond because it's this certain duck that come out there every other weekend. You see what I'm saying? Like
Right.
if you can remember that man pitched 77 innings with 3,600 touchdown. I mean home runs and I don't know how many batting averages.
Mhm.
You can remember her shoe size, her dress size, and just to pop it up on her for a date night.
Right. Hey, Mary, what's going on? And so, what you, I know, just pop it up. Like, okay, what make you feel love lately? What I will ask you that. What?
So lately, so y'all, I'm not an affectionate person. I don't like hugs. Don't hug me too long. Don't touch me too much. But lately, that's what I've been craving. And I say since the holidays.
Right.
Since the holidays, there's just been this comfort that I've wanted. And it's not in going out enjoying and having a good time. It's been more so alone together. We ain't even got to talk. I just want to lay there. But that ain't always been me. So that's
Right.
how I changed recently. We
Mm-hmm.
talk about women changing over time. We really should start with how a woman changed within a round of a month. But that's a whole nother segment for a whole nother day.
Right. So shout out to my husband on here, Julian, Mary.
Juju.
I've seen a lot of people on here.
Hey,
So
Mary.
so wisdom is the principal thing of getting an understanding. That's the thing, getting an understanding. Because
Mm-hmm,
even the Bible saying all things get an understanding, right?
mm-hmm,
So number two, stop using what you just said, old
mm-hmm,
information. She's not that 1.0. Even WordPress give you
mm-hmm,
new updates,
mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm. I
right?
had I had somebody to say, I asked him if he would take me. She wanted to go mud riding, right?
Mhm.
But this is the thing. She never liked getting dirty. She never liked getting nasty. She is such a pretty, clean girl that he was actually upset that now this is something you want to do. And I've been asking you to do this a whole long time ago, but now this is what you want to do. And she was like, yeah, that was like, you asked me that like 5 years ago.
Right. Hey,
Like,
Apostle, my bishop on here, Bishop Saunders. We talking about you don't know me, loving who she used to be, okay, and not who she is right now. So he
mm-hmm,
couldn't understand, right,
right.
that she want to
Like,
go now.
right. And he was actually upset about it because it was something he wanted to do.
Hmm.
But she was just like, I'm not going out there in that mud. I'm not da 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 da. Da. But she's older now. I'll say that
Right.
she's older now, so things that mattered to her then don't really matter now.
Hmm.
No, I'm not going out there and getting my hair messy, and I just got my hair done. No, I'm not going to go out there and mess up this, break a nail, do da 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 da. But over time, she has matured to where those are materialistic things. But I know
Hmm.
that this is what my husband want to do. So yeah, babe, let's go out here and do ATV ride.
Hmm.
But he didn't want to go because he felt like she was still being the old her, but trying
Hmm.
to pacify him. And she was like, no, this is what you've asked for. So I've grown in that area. And now that I done grew in that area, it's still wrong.
Right. Because because it's like, okay, so you could change.
Mm-hmm.
You could change at an instant.
Mm-hmm.
We talking about you men. You could change your mind at an instant. We could be heading one. I changed my mind. Be like, hold on, but my hopes was up. But it seemed like soon as women change their mind, and most of the time we could change it to the point where we were like, well, maybe I could try that. But
Mm-hmm.
then we also want our boundaries, and then we want to
Mm-hmm.
grow. Because most time men look at you who you was when you pop locking and dropping.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Now,
And then 2 years ago or before you had the kids.
mm-hmm.
You know, uh, uh, they don't understand that when you was working and this, and maybe your job shifted, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and everything before the betrayal, because
Mm-hmm.
she changed even after.
Yeah. And
And
that's what I was gonna say. I left right there when I was talking earlier about my marriage. I
uh,
wanted to leave it where I left it at because I knew we were gonna end up coming back to it.
uh-huh, coming around the mountain.
We were gonna circle back. So
Mm-hmm.
if you were here at the beginning of the live, I talked about how I was a very independent, very dominant natured woman,
Mm-hmm.
which in turn my father had to come correct me. I worked on it for years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I'm gonna bring back what you said earlier about submission can be used with you or against you.
Mm-hmm.
So I had learned to become this new version of myself,
Mm-hmm.
not be so hot headed, allow him to lead, be patient, and all of that. But then over time, that started to become now my weakness. Because
Mm-hmm.
anytime I do voice my opinion, I do voice, what I feel like should be, or can we conversate on this? Now it's why are you talking? Like
Mm-hmm.
my submission wasn't taken as the
Growth.
gift or growth, right? I don't want to say
Mm-hmm.
gift because I'm not giving nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't taken as growth.
Mm-hmm.
It was taken as a means of, okay, now I've gotten you to be quiet, so now I can rage and do whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
that
that's
what
where the
this girl
messed
had.
up coming
That's where it messed up at
in. Mm-hmm.
because the change in me had become the me,
Mm. Right.
and he had gotten used to that me. But see, that version of me and that version of him, we weren't gonna be able to coexist.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, like I said at the beginning, that old girl's still here.
Right. Be like, tag me in, coach.
But it like, nah, little friend. We said that we were
Old
gonna
things
do
have
right.
passed away.
We said we were gonna do right. We said we were gonna tone it down.
Right.
But he has started to, and I'll say it's been 10 plus years since that situation where there was a 10-year span of the
Mm-hmm.
quieter, peaceful, meeker side of me.
Mm-hmm.
But then once it became detrimental to me, I had to tap that old girl and say, I don't need you. I just kind of need your pinky toe.
Not,
You know,
not
like
all
I
of you.
not all of you.
Just the pick. Because
I I need maybe a pinky finger because at some point I still had to say, hey, now
mm-hmm.
I get what you're saying,
Mm-hmm.
but I have a right to say as well. Or if
Right.
this is a decision, this is a decision we both are going to have to make because I see this brick wall you finna slam your head
Mm-hmm.
into. And I'm just trying to wave the white flag to say, hey, 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 caution, caution, caution.
Right. But see, that's where the hard thing is.
Mm-hmm.
If a woman cannot talk to her husband, even give him leeway,
Mm-hmm.
even in accent, she ain't gonna give it to him.
Mm-hmm.
Because time that leeway don't turn into what he thought it's gonna be, she gonna get blamed for it because she put in her 2 cents.
Her two
So
cents.
after a while, her 2 cents, she ain't gonna have none.
Mm-mm.
And then that's hard for if you have a woman of God and he speaks to you and you can't convey that to your husband, you can't convey that to your fiance. And
Mm-hmm.
that's a hard thing, especially for a woman that's a help me,
I'm glad
right?
you brought I'm glad you brought that word up. A lot of people think that the help meet means slave.
Mm-hmm.
Like we are there to wash your clothes, do your dishes, cook your food, watch your children, clean your house, roll over, turn over, flip, bust it down, all that. But another side of help meet with a partner, which is why a woman changing for the good. If you see your woman getting closer to God, you should be jumping for joy.
Mm-hmm.
But that because that means that she's finding her place not only in God, but her place in your life.
Mm-hmm.
But where it even gets torn down in the spiritual realm is a lot of men don't understand that help me doesn't necessarily mean she does everything for you, but she's also there to help guide you. Women are also there to be buffers for men.
Mm-hmm.
We see things differently than a man does. A man can say, I wanted that business and I want it today. I got the money, I'm gonna go buy it. But then the woman saying the foundation cracked, there's water leaking under here,
Mm-hmm.
there's a sewage drain back there that ain't even hooked up. And we'll come in and say, pause.
Did you hear
Don't
that? Did you see
don't
that?
right, don't
Right.
make that purchase just yet. Don't do that just yet.
Mm-hmm.
And blam. Why? I want to do it. It's my money. I can do what I want to do. But God just showed me everything wrong with this.
Mm-hmm.
But because you have a one track tunnel mind, you don't think that the tunnels that I'm getting lead nowhere.
Mm-hmm. And then that's when it'd be like, well, okay,
All right, go ahead.
pray for between me and thee. Okay. And
As the
and
children say now, whoop de doo.
right. Whoopity. I think of my husband said. Okay, number 3, learn her love language and apply consistency. Not once, not when you mess up,
Mm-hmm.
consistently. And let me tell you something. Okay, love languages. When we growing up, we didn't have that. We didn't know what that was.
Mm-hmm.
We did
Us
not
either.
know what love. We was taught to be wives, but we weren't taught what to look for in a husband.
Uh-uh.
If he had a job, believe Jesus, son of God, them 2 things, that was it. Because my grandma said, wait till a man's heart through his stomach. I was like, before she passed away, I was like, well, I must got some that got don't like to eat.
Do you hear me?
They must have different stomachs. Because I don't know what you're talking about,
Right.
right? Because to women, love is security. If a woman can't feel secure, ain't nothing you can tell her.
Mm-mm.
Ain't nothing you can tell her. And I'm telling you something. I have been in the industry, in the medical field, radiology tech, in the barbering field. I come across many people, and a lot of my seasoned women, as I would say.
Mm-hmm.
They have stuck in marriages 50, 40, 80 years, and half of the time they were just there. It wasn't no more love.
Mm-hmm.
Back then it was just what you had to do. If you walked away, it was almost like you were shunned.
Yeah.
Right. If because it comes to the point where, like me, I'm gonna tell you something. My husband said I laid down the stats when we met. Right. I got this,
Mm-hmm.
and 3 kitty, but I also like this is Chanel because I've learned who I am. This is this. After a while, this. If I do this, it this, and you could pretty much bag it on down that this gonna happen.
Right.
Right. Because if she has to keep telling you what she needs, you gonna start feeling like a husband, start feeling like her homeboy.
Mm-hmm.
Cause it don't really
Or
cause she'll be
or
like, it don't really matter to you.
right.
So I ain't got to say nothing else. We just coexisted like most of the
Mm-hmm.
seasoned people did.
Yeah.
Or go ahead. Or
Or that is also considered nagging. When I'm
mm-hmm,
literally just letting you know that this is what I need. My love language is servitude.
mm-hmm.
If I can do anything to make your day better, make you laugh, make you smile, anything to better you as a person, I love doing it. I love doing it. I love to come home and cook my husband his pork chop and macaroni because I know that we love.
And that goulash.
And his that's his sweetie, my mama. That's her fault. She started him on the goulash. But yeah, things that I know you like. My husband loved the Baltimore Ravens. You think I care about them last $50 I got? Nope, because I see this flag and I'm gonna get it for him because I
Mhm.
know he want it. And it's not even just the gift; it's the excitement that I know he's gonna have from getting the gift.
Okay, so I hear you saying his love language. Your love language in turn to what you could do. What is do you know yours?
Honestly, I don't think so.
And that's yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think I know what my love language. You know what? Hold on. Wait a
Hold
minute.
that thought. I'll wait.
Pause. If I had to think about it, of feeling appreciated, feeling that what I'm doing isn't in vain.
Mm-hmm.
Like right now in my life, I think that's where I would feel the most love from because I feel like that's where I'm longing at the most now.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, I mean, had kids early, got married early, raised my family young. Now I'm a grandmama, so it's like I reached all these milestones so early and so fast in my life that now I'm in my late 30s and it almost kind of feels like, okay, I did all of this, I got all of that, but what does it show for it in my marriage?
Right. And then losing people along the way.
Right. So now it's one of those things to where the things that did make me happy to do for him, for
Mm-hmm.
them, it doesn't give me that same joy because I don't feel the reciprocation.
Okay.
So right now, I would say my love language would be appreciation, just words of appreciation.
Mm-hmm.
Because I get gifts. I mean, I get those little whatnots, those edible arrangements, the flowers, the cookies, but it's the words of appreciation.
Mm-hmm.
Let me know deep down in your shondo what you feel about me, boy.
Right. Look, so I know y'all, just in case my screen may be frozen, but I'm still here. Okay. The technical difficulty. Is it frozen on your side?
I thought it was just my screen. That's why I ain't saying
Mhm.
it.
Right, but that's all right. But yeah, let me know my and I had to learn my love language. I think I didn't really know. Well, like I said, growing up, we didn't have the languages of love. It
But
was just
but mind you, we didn't either. This didn't come
uh
up until I was in my late 20s when I started seeing love languages. I was like, so when that
what's
became a
that is?
thing.
I learned mine when I was in my late 30s, when I started getting like expensive gifts, and I was like, that ain't what I said I like though.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I got this Chanel purse, and it was a good gesture. It was a birthday. Do you remember that? We was at Granny
Mm-hmm.
house, and the
Mm-hmm.
purse expensive. I mean, I got some Zales and all that, and I like gifts now. Okay, I'm in my 50s. I do like gifts, but I learned then that I like what I like. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Because I was like, okay, 300 some dollars. Um, but there was this purse over here that wasn't that much, but the style of it was me. It wasn't just the logo.
Juju, anything from a thrift store, she'll like it, okay?
No.
Take it from her daughter.
I do have a 75, but and I do like nice stuff, but it is more so of if you
The
hear
character.
me.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
like concerts. I like parks. I like just sitting somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I like just go see something different. Go to the museum. Just experience. Go to the a festival or something. And then you come with a almost $400. I'm like, okay, $400. We could have ate. We could stay. Now I'm telling you now, hotel stay tonight. It could be down the
Vacation
street
me.
from the house. Right.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So even though I wouldn't mind having like the expensive things, but I rather have it in a certain way. So when I learned that was my love language, I try to convey it. But you want to know what turn a woman off when she tell you and you do what you want to do, you pretty much could shut the door. Ain't that right, Prophetess Stephanie
Listen.
Saunders, my first lady, co-pastor. I don't know what she called it, but our Watchman Meet advisor is on tonight. Thank you for coming on. And I mean, right there
Listen.
is a feeling of, well, you ain't listening to me. And this the next thing. You number 4, you have to pay attention to the silence. Her
Oh,
silence ain't always peace.
oh,
Because
we.
women, it's hard for women in love to be silent. That's when the talking comes. Cause they want to talk to you,
Mm-hmm.
especially if they ain't seen you all day. They go,
Mm-hmm.
and if they be and you be like,
Mom, let me tell you what happened recently.
my son must be in there.
uh, he here,
Oh,
he here, he here. Listen, let me tell
he
you what
on
had
here.
happened. Well, listen. So, y'all, I talk a lot. When I say I talk a lot, I talk a lot, especially if it's something I want to talk about. And I know my husband gets sick of me because when he get home, I won't tell him everything, all the tea, all the stuff I done seen on the internet, every video I done sent him that he already done watched. Now we got to rewatch it, all it. Well, back here last week, well, I say the week before that, we had a discussion. And where the discussion was left off at, I wasn't really comfortable there. It was one of those things where we didn't really agree to disagree. And the disagreement wasn't really a disagreement. It was just kind of weird. And the conversation was left off in a real weird space. But we both have been working on trying not to roar at each other. So we've learned just drop it, pick it back up. Well, some days had went by, we picked it back up, and we made progress. But I still wasn't quite comfortable with the conversation. So I ended up just kind of quieting myself because at that point I'm like, okay, Sherelle, well, maybe what you want isn't what you're gonna be able to just get right now. Because I know me. I'm one of those people, hey, we need to talk. We need to talk. I'm not understanding. I still don't get it. I. See how I'm saying? Me.
Hmm.
Well, I said, you know what? I'm gonna pump the brakes on myself. But in
Hmm.
order to do that, I gotta be quiet. Because if I talk, I know it's gonna come up and I know it's gonna go, like we're gonna start all the way back over again. So I was quiet for a day, quiet for the next day. Then finally the third day he pulled up from work. He said, come on, I'm gonna take you out. So I get in the car, we drive off, we go to the duck pond, we sit out there, I say nothing. And I mean, he's talking to me and I'm talking back, but it's not the
Hmm.
normal me, the normal blah,
Right.
blah, 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 me. It's just answering his questions and just staying quiet.
Hmm.
We sit out there for about an hour, and on the way back, he touched my forehead and he touched my neck, and he was like, "You all right?" And I said, "What you doing all that for?" And he was like, "Because you've been quiet." And
Hmm.
he said, "That ain't you. Why you so quiet?" And I was like, "Honestly, the conversation we had, I'm still not comfortable. I don't feel secure. I'm not feeling okay about it. But so I
Right.
won't nag you. I just decided, I'll stay quiet because again, it wasn't a big deal.
Uh-huh.
It was a big deal for me, but I could have blown it out of proportion a tad bit. And I
Hmm.
knew that. I checked it. But he definitely paid attention to my silence because one thing he know, if I'm quiet,
Hmm.
it ain't gonna go good.
Mhm.
Because if I'm quiet now, I'm still gonna say something. If I'm quiet too long, when it do come out, it ain't gonna be right. So
Mhm.
he checked it right then and said, "Well, you know what? If you still don't feel all right about it, we could talk about it again." He was
Mhm.
like, "I didn't want to, keep going that day because I seen the conversation come and I seen how we were gonna go, so that's why I left it alone." He said, "But if you want to talk about it and you're not okay, we can go to the house and talk about it." And that made me feel better to know that I didn't have to act out. I didn't have to lash out. I didn't have to, walk around stumping my feet, not cooking for the man, letting them
Right.
starve and all that. All I had to
My
do was
voice
just
style.
take a little bit of silence. So, fellas, if you see her being quiet and you know that's not her, approach her gently and you'll get a gentle response. And hopefully that'll help y'all with communication. But if she quiet and you step to her and you try to handle it gently and she hit you with the not right now, she ain't ready. Just let her simmer a little bit more. You don't want to take
Right.
off the eye before it's too early.
Yeah. Because
But that
even
definitely was part of my silence. I'm tired of repeating myself. It ain't
Mhm.
like you hear me no way. So what's the purpose of me talking? Just emotionally being checked out,
Mhm.
even though it wasn't a big issue, it was one of those lingering issues. And
Right.
that's where I had made it to. I had made it to the point of, you know what? I'm gonna just be quiet. I'm not gonna nag him no more. And either I'm gonna just learn to deal with the situation as it is, or
Mhm.
we just gonna have to revisit it at a later date. But it
Mhm.
definitely happened to me recently about that being quiet.
Yeah. Cuz that quiet it's a twofold
Y'all, I
thing.
don't know if she made it back. I know she was doing some technical. She had some technical difficulties, but I'm gonna keep going. Um, the scripture for that is Amos 3:3. Can two walk together except they agree? At some point, with the changing and learning who she is now, there's going to have to come a conversation. There's going to have to become a conversation. Even if you were with your wife back, y'all got back together in 2010. We're in 26, so that's 16 years. So you definitely would have to communicate repeatedly, especially in those quiet seasons. Because those quiet seasons, as my granny say, there's quiet before the storm, calm before the storm. That's normally where you can pretty much kind of get some type of leeway in, is in that moment. Because if not, then whatever she is thinking in that quiet moment, it'll definitely spill over later. Silence often means disconnection. If she's quiet, she's disconnected somewhere emotionally, physically, mentally, and sometimes spiritually. There is a such thing as women changing spiritually, and men don't see it, and they're wondering why she don't want to do this, she don't want to do that. That's because God changed her to do something else. So there's definitely always check the quiet of the storm. Number 5, create a safe space, not a battlefield. If she tells you something in vulnerability and you throw it back later, you just turn love into war. Now, as far as that part, I feel like as women, we vulnerable anyway. All it takes is for a man to sit there and men, if y'all on here, y'all can laugh at this. I'm a woman and I promise you I'm non-biased. A lot of times when us women be sitting there talking to y'all about our day and that coworker that's getting on our nerve and that and the kids did this and the kids did that, most of the time y'all sitting there and y'all pretty much just saying, mm-hmm, yeah, all right. But to us women, hey, that's all we need. But if so, we're vulnerable anyway. We're gonna tell you everything we got going on with us anyway, normally. But if I come to you and give you something from the deep dark part of me, and I want to bring it to my partner because I need help with this issue, like mine was depression. After my sister died, I went through maybe 2.5 years of depression, and I hid it from my husband. I mean, for a long time. He was on the road driving trucks at the time. So the few days he was home, I'll straighten up, do whatever. He leave, I'll be back down. But when I shared that with him, if we were ever in an argument and he brought that back up, oh well, I mean, all you do is sit around here and be depressed all day. So you're gonna take that and then turn around and spirit at me as an arrow and shoot me dead in my heart. There was something vulnerable that I shared with you because I wanted you to know where I was, and hopefully that you would have the strength to help me pick up my pieces. But now those same things that you were supposed to be my savior you're supposed to be my savior from, you are the main person using it as a weapon. Men, you can't do that. Women too, you can't do that. We can't do that. We can't do that on any level on any given day. Say it to yourself, say it in your head. Welcome back, girl. You let me all by myself.
Let me tell you something. This thing got messed up. I ain't want to restart it. I was scared that it
I
was
said,
gonna get
well,
out.
it's been a journey starting Sherelle.
Right. You doing a good job. Go ahead though.
Appreciate you. But but once you throw that back, she will never look at you the same. She may
Mm-mm.
never share her inner dark self with you. And that in itself will cause her to change.
Mm. Yeah, that's true.
Because now you will realize that she's, instead of her being like this on you, she's kind of like this.
Hmm.
It's an echo, mom.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, you're back now.
I'm back.
But
We trying to work it out.
that in itself will cause her to change.
Hmm.
And then especially if that's something that you do all the time.
Hmm.
This time it may be about this. This time it may be about that. This time it may be about something else. We get into it, about bills or this and that, and then you turn around and say, "Well, it ain't like you done worked in the last month. It ain't like you can help me do nothing." First of all, you already know how I feel about not working.
Hmm.
Can we talk about how we're going to handle these bills without
Hmm.
you throwing that vulnerable thing that hurts me back in my face?
Right. And you have to be very careful with that. Like
Very.
people say sticks and stone may break your bone, but words kill people.
Sticks and stones will break your bone and you'll forget that fracture. But I remember what you said to me 5 years ago on
5 years
Thursday at
ago. That's
5
why
p.m.
I'm telling you, you have to pray about that. Because even Ephesians 5:25 said, husband, love your wife just as Christ loved the church. Christ doesn't expose, he covers. And when a woman
Exactly.
feel uncovered, ain't nothing you can really tell her. Ain't nothing you could say to make her feel like she's safe with you. If you take the things we talked about in these five, security from her, try to take her voice from her, you take her confidence and being
Hmm.
confiding in you, and then you take that security of you leading. Ain't nothing really you could do. And even if they dwell with you, and see, that's why I
Hmm.
think I told my mom, I was like, that's never. I said that ain't gonna be me, because I saw her dwell over. How old was I when? They was together before I was born, and when they separated, I was grown. So over 27 some years, and out of that, since I was born, I can't say how long, I watched you do that.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So right there, I'm looking like, no. I mean, at some point, you just going with the flow. I'm thinking in my head, you going for people? Are
Right.
you doing it for the
Right.
people? You know what they gonna say about you? They probably talk about me right now. Okay. But it's just like if God says stay, I ain't never had a problem. Because even you remember, y'all was like, why you stay so long? Da da da. I
Ooh,
said, because God ain't told me to move. I still wanted
baby,
to
we
work.
used to be hotter than fish grease. Hot. Mom, why you still? You know what? She grown. She do what she want to do.
Right. And yeah, but when God and people don't understand it, they be like, you got married and divorced. God severed every last one of them. Okay. He said,
Hmm.
let no man put us under. He said he wouldn't. So I felt like maybe that was for it's been a journey. Because I'm telling you, he
Hmm.
told me to reveal this and stuff that went on in my life. I was sick for 3 years. I mean, literally, I was sweating. I was like, I ain't cool with people like that. I'm like my prophet said, let somebody else do it.
Hmm.
But it was for me, and I didn't go through all that just for me. But when I went through it, he could trust me because I still did what the word tried my best and not throw them hands, early along. I swatted a little bit, but I grew. Okay, I learned. I learned, but over the years, I developed into what I felt like he was calling me to be and to be a wife. And so I
Right.
felt like I was a wife, but I was so multifaceted in business and this. And even in that, I always want to be like, hey, God bless me with this, and this. I'm telling you, we rock together, we hold this thing down. Ain't nothing that he gonna withhold from us. No good thing, he said, with us. But if you don't want none, ain't no good thing he gonna withhold from me. That's just Chanel.
I
Pray
mean,
for me, somebody.
either you jump on the bandwagon or you get left. I mean, them your
Barbecue
two
and
options.
mildew. Right.
Barbecue or mildew.
So we just being straight up raw and honest. This
Barbecue
just
or
the truth.
mildew.
And the truth will make you free. A lot of times when a woman is not being loved like she's supposed, resentment can set in.
Mm-hmm.
When she goes silent, now she developing bitterness.
Mm-hmm.
Then malice come. That's why you have so many things. And then when the man looking at the woman saying she changed, but she really just developing who she really is, especially if she changed for the better, and you feeling like you got a stranger, like I don't know, she ain't who she used to be. Then
Look,
you go out
I'm
here
gonna
and try
raise,
to find somebody.
I'm gonna raise my hand this time, like the kids in school, because I got something to say right here. Before we get off here, we got 9 minutes.
Okay.
Can we talk about the change that occurs with women that y'all call?
Oh,
Do we
oh,
have time tonight?
you got
If we ain't got time tonight, we'll make a part two. Because a lot of times
we
the way women change, it also comes from what she has endured with her mate.
mm, mm.
Because again, I'm using me as an example. If it fits you, then welcome. We Cinderella terms too, okay?
Shoot.
I dominated, then I softened up, then I kind of brought my little girl back, but then I had to bring her back a little bit more. Cause now she back up to the shoulder. She back got a whole arm now.
I'm praying for her.
Please. But what I realized in that change is I gotta find a balance within myself in order to find a balance within us.
Mm. Oh, clock that. I like that.
Because my dominance was too much. My submission wasn't enough. So now I'm testing this somewhere in the middle. And so far, so good. But the way that I was able to bring that half and half, well, no, I ain't gonna say half and half. 3/4. No, too much. 1/3 of the old girl back was because of a conversation that we had.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Why you so angry? Why you so upset? Like, what's going on? You ain't been doing it." That's when all the me back being talking, me saying my piece and counting to three.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to know where is all this coming from,
Right.
and I had to explain to him because all these years that I've been quiet, I felt stepped on, I felt walked over, and I felt trampled on, and I felt like my voice didn't matter. So that ain't gonna work either.
Mm-hmm.
We done tried both of them,
Mm-hmm.
and that came. Well, what made you feel like that? Okay. And I was able to lay down everything that he had did within the course of years that made me feel like the true me was fading away and I didn't know who I
Mm.
was no more.
So what kind of feeling did you start having anxiety about that? Did you start like checking
Resentment.
everything?
I felt the
Mm-hmm.
resentment. And y'all, when I say me and my husband are best friends, we love each other.
Mm-hmm.
But when I started to feel like I was looking at him and he was walking in and my face was frying up, I knew then something ain't right, girl.
Mm-hmm.
You need to check something. And that's what it was. It wasn't that he treated me bad. It wasn't that he fought me. It wasn't that he even stepped outside.
Mm-hmm.
It was the little petty stuff that would happen, the little petty arguments, the little petty whatevers, where I had to tell myself to shut up.
Mm-hmm. To
but he
not
could
say
say,
anything.
but he could say whatever he want to say.
Right.
So you So
Let me
you can
tell
sit up here and say whatever you want to say, but I'm expected to sit here and even in that, I'm expressing to you that that hurt my feelings. What you
you.
said, I didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of it being met with, compassion and empathy, it met with my bad. I'm sorry. I don't know why you mad for anyway.
Right. And even like in that,
So all
it's
of that
like say
changed you.
it like so if most women and women y'all on here, I see y'all. What's up,
Hmm.
Nikki? What's going on? So most women, if you have a conversation, if you have an argument, whatever it is, if you could say her piece and count to three, y'all gonna be copacetic for the rest of the night. Most of the time,
That's
women
it.
are upset when they can't say nothing, when it feel like you shut them down. All they want to do is just speak.
That's
And
it.
even when they say, you know what, I ain't gonna say nothing. It's like
Men don't.
that
If a
man,
woman ever say, "I ain't gonna say nothing,"
I ain't gonna
don't
say
trust it.
because she
I'm gonna
gonna
give
say
y'all the blueprint, man. Don't trust her. If she say, "You know what? That's okay. That's all right," it's
I
not
ain't gonna,
okay, and it
it's
is
not
not
okay.
all right.
It's not all right. It's not all right. It's not all right because I'm gonna tell you something. Women, and I'm gonna go back to my girl Eve. I ain't talking about the Eve with the panther paws. I'm talking about Eve back there with Adam. The
I still got
snake
a bone to pick
slithered
with her.
in
Continue.
because he held conversation,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Most times snakes slither in, even in us women, when we backdate and we encounter the snake because the conversation.
In the words of my granddaddy, conversation ruled the nation.
That's what he said. And my dad had a lot of women. Okay, I'm just gonna be
Honest.
honest. Okay. I
Uh-huh.
asked him that one time that he was a teacher and I went to see him and all them women were just skinning and grinning. My dad was a mild mannered man. He wasn't no loud guy. He barely
Mm-hmm.
raised his voice. Even when he raised his voice, he wasn't loud. He was just cool all the time, smiling, and he just has this charismatic way about him. And I asked him one day, and I was like, damn, why all these women like you like that? And he looked at me, I'll never forget. And it didn't dawn on me until I was in one of the marriages, okay? And he said, conversation rules the nation. And he walked away. And I was like, I don't know what that means, but okay. But when I hit my 40s and married, and my ex-husband told me, he said, I just tell them what they want to hear. It came.
Conversation
I said,
ruled the
oh,
nation.
oh Lord. And but one thing about it, he didn't do me like that because he couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
But even the mistress said to me, I think I just like he just tell me what I want to hear. And you, we're gonna talk about that. I don't know, you
So
might be
part
talking about
two. We're gonna
we'll
do
plan
part
for
two.
part two. But I'm just saying. So a lot of men too, we need to talk about this. They step out of their marriage and looking for their wife they had before and other women. But
You the
she
one that
trying
helped
to
break her down. That's it.
she want
It's
to
okay.
better the thing marriage. But it's like you want to tear down. Like one of mine, I was wanting to be a barber forever, and y'all, I am a professional barber. And the day that I got my divorce was the day I started barber school. Okay. And he was like, if you do that, I'm gonna divorce you. And this, then I was like, but God put on my heart, I'm telling you, he gonna flourish the thing. I ain't worked for nobody, y'all. Before I moved back, I ain't worked for nobody for 8 years. And I moved back here and worked somewhere for the first 4 years I back, and I'm back on my own barbershop. Okay. God, and somebody asked me, that's all you do? Yeah, that's all I do. God give me manna for that day and whatever I need
Amen.
to eat. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought about it, and but while he was cheating, it was like with women, no disrespect, just in case you don't hear, no, we cool now. That they weren't doing nothing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to build a family. Like you let the enemy get in you and tear the family down. So now ain't no more we doing this. I start saying, this is what I'm gonna do because you ain't with me. You when marriage, when a man become out of order or a woman become out of order, because he is the head, she is the foundation. If the foundation crack, okay, I'm just gonna say how strong or help me have to be. If the
Mm-hmm.
foundation crack, the roof gonna shift. But if the roof blow off,
The
what?
foundation.
the foundation go, if it's still whole, it's gonna stay there, right? But it's still out of order. It's still rain coming in the house, whether it's flooding from the ground or from the top. We just being raw and honest on here. So when a
Mm-hmm.
when a man ain't in his rightful place, guess what gonna happen with that woman? She ain't gonna fall. I remember I had my ex husband. He quit his job and did everything, didn't tell me nothing, and then came and said, "I'm gonna start school." Cool, okay. We're gonna do that. Now I said, so how you gonna work? He said, well, I ain't working no more. I said, so what that mean? He said, well, I'm gonna do schooling. I said, well, I wanted to go to school. He said, well, you can go to school after I get through. Mind you, the school I want to go to was barbering school. I couldn't do that. You get a divorce. So I try to stay in the will of the people. I ain't said the will of God, because God gave me that desire when I was a little girl, watching my dad cut hair, right? So after he graduated, dun 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 dun, and I said, well, now I'm gonna go. He was like, no,
Hmm.
we need to wait a little while. So all of that, her changing, she's trying to get you to see, I got your back, but if not, I got my own back. Cause God ain't gonna let he ain't tell nobody be no fool. Y'all, that's just straight up. We
Mm-hmm.
pray and we pray, Lord, I want to be this for my husband. I want to be this for my children. This is what my prayer was. I want, Lord, I know I had them young and I didn't do everything right, Lord. And I even got them and told them, look, I apologize. And I can't, look, I didn't know what to do. And then I was trying to work. I didn't want to have to beg and X, Y, Z. So I'm changing and trying to be what my mama said I should be in a
Mm-hmm.
marriage. Then my grandmama said I should be in a marriage. Then the Bible said I should be in the marriage. And I'm trying to be all that. And then to have someone tear that down, like you said earlier, when that changes, you can pretty much hang out. Now she dwelling with you, but she ain't with you.
She ain't with you.
And still want the best for you. I tell them,
Mm-hmm.
we cool. All of them, y'all can call them up. They probably on this line. I ain't got no beef with
Yeah, because what it does is it changes her from a we mindset to an I mindset.
you.
At first, everything that she was doing was for us. But the more you keep making sure that she know that it's you, then her, she can say, okay,
Yep.
got it.
It's done.
It's done. And she'll be there. She gonna still cook. She's gonna still take care of. She's still going all of that. But the person as of like who she is, you may never see her again unless you can come back and show her that you deserve her again.
And that's one thing people ask me, and this was one of the podcasts when it first started. They asked me, why was you divorced 4 times? And it wasn't because I didn't take them back. It wasn't that just because what they did. We handled
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Life still went on, right? But it was because I didn't take them back. And they was like, why didn't you take them back if they did? Because I ain't her no more.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Because a
It
lot of
wasn't,
times when you make that choice to leave, and like you said in your instance, every time you was able to walk away with a clean state because guess what? I know I done did, I know I done tried, I know I done fixed, I know I done broke it down and refixed again and put a new tie, got a new radiator, I got a new alternator, and then the muffler fall off in the back. At that point, just throw the whole car away.
yeah. And even and I'll tell and even in that we had conversation even after that.
Mm-hmm.
Like when all of us had in those marriages I had, we have apologized to each other. Because I didn't do everything right. Sometimes when I
Mm-hmm.
throw in the softball, I probably shouldn't have did that, but that's what you wanted to do. Then and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I probably shouldn't have said something when I said something. But when it's done, it's like in my mental state. Unless God say, Chanel, take, I can't, because I ain't her. I wouldn't even want to give you a half of me. That's why I said, when they leave, I can't take you back. It ain't because you might love me. It ain't because I don't love you. It just, I ain't that girl no more.
Mm-hmm. The
It's so
version of me
much
you're
that
in love
happened.
with is not who I am now.
I'm, that's why I said you loving the old version. Her, y'all thought it was one facet we talking about. No, most time women don't go back because they ain't the person.
Mm-hmm.
They can't love you like she did when she first met you, before
Mm-hmm.
all the scars, the abuse, the words, and all that. And then she tried and prayed, and God, some women could do it, and God could deliver them.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got there yet. And I can see them, see they wives now. We cool right now. Shout out to all my sister wives, all of them. Because you know what I mean? Because I don't, even when we're apart, may Lord be between me and you while we at. I want the best for you. I want the best for your children. I still have a relationship. But even in changing, saying that loving who she is now, that means when if you get back together with a person that been through so much like me, I, she ain't turn you down because she don't love you. She turned you down because she ain't that fresh love. She
Mm-mm.
ain't you didn't scar. You didn't took her back through the valley. When she told you she had been there one time, you didn't even take her through the river. Something new, you take her.
Right back through the same valley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's the 5 questions, y'all. We ain't gonna keep y'all here tonight. We don't want nobody mad. Go cook a meal. Okay. Number one, do I truly know who my partner is today or who they used to be? These for the
That's,
men. Couples, you can
oh, I
answer.
like that second one.
Number two, when was the last time I asked my partner what they need emotionally?
You know something? For and I'm gonna speak for millennials because again, I feel like Gen X, their generation didn't get into the emotional aspect of a lot of things, but us millennials we did. I
It
feel like
was
we kind of
traditional and ritual.
right. And once us millennials came up as children, that's when everything started to become more about how we feel and what makes us feel and how things make us feel. Because we was the first generation to openly say that don't make me feel good.
Mm-hmm.
In the older generation, it ain't what it's supposed to feel like. No, no, no. Because if I don't like this job, I ain't staying because it don't make me feel good.
Right.
But even in your marriage, I feel like a lot of times the emotion of marriage doesn't always align with the view of marriage, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people get married and they view it as a certain thing. But you and your partner's emotions may not be in a line to where that vision can be a reality.
Mm.
So I feel like there should be, if not quarterly check-ins, at least twice a year. Hey, let's take a little staycation. We're
Mm-hmm.
gonna we're gonna write down some topics that we need to discuss.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully, we can make it through it. And if we don't make it through it tonight, hey, we'll pick it back up later. But at some point, there really needs to be a conversation about where you are emotionally. Because sometimes you could be head over heel with your mate, but your emotion about life can make that emotion not be shown because life is whooping you.
Mm. Right.
So that second question,
Yeah.
I like that one, Mom.
Number three, do I listen to understand or to respond? Now this is my husband say to me, but I be really be listening. But he be like, you just waiting to respond. No, no, I want to hear what you're saying. But even in that, even if you trying to respond, let it be a conversation where both is talking. This out okay, so most of
Hmm.
y'all can see how me and my daughter talk. We could be on the phone for hours. We talk
Doing
like
this
this,
right here, y'all. We talk just like
doing
this,
this
just
right
like
here
this,
all the time,
all day.
but all day because my mom. After I was close to my father, I wasn't really close to my mother. After he passed, me and my mother jailed because I was a daddy's girl. Just true, tell the truth. So when he passed, and it was none but girls in our huddle, my sister, my other daughter, my nieces. And we made a community, we had a group, but we could talk. Even with my mom growing up, we could talk.
Hmm.
We talk. And when you get in a situation where you can't talk, where that's how everybody childhood ain't like that. Every like my daughter could tell me, "Ma, I don't like how you did something." So they don't mean I ain't gonna snap on her, but because I'm her mom, but I'm gonna
Hmm.
listen.
Hmm.
I'll be like, girl,
One
shut
hundred
your mouth. I
percent.
ain't studying nothing you talking about.
Yeah.
But then, well, I'm gonna talk, but we still talk. things that hustlers don't know. We talk about. She don't know what my brother. We talk and see that's what hurting a lot of people. Conversation. My dad said rules and nation. That's even in marriage. If you cannot talk to your person, then when they go talking to other people, I ain't that because I don't like that. But period, you put somebody in that house and they are slithering snake or hoochie hoe, you gonna have a problem.
Mom, you can't. That tickled me so bad, y'all.
So
But
I'm just
I ain't
telling
want to
the truth.
laugh too hard. But that's true. But too, and to say what you were saying, can we normalize the response not being argumentative just because it don't agree? Can
Right?
we normalize that?
If you better be glad I ain't got no bail. Wait a minute. I think I got some on here. Hold on.
Just because my reply isn't in agreement with what you said doesn't mean that my reply doesn't hold weight. That just means that we see it from two different sides. That don't mean I'm trying to argue.
Hmm.
That don't mean I'm trying to blow it out of proportion. That doesn't mean that I want to be combative. That just means that we don't see eye to eye. So how can we see eye to eye if I don't see your side and you don't see my side? Then we can't bring them together because neither one of us know what the other one is thinking or talking about.
Good. You almost started preaching. Let me go get the offering.
So just listening is the question asks, do I listen to understand or to respond? Listening to understand should show in your response.
Right.
That's how you will know.
Mm-hmm.
If I say I don't like the fact that you take the dog to use the bathroom on this side of the house, because every time I go outside to the car, I end up stepping in, the dog mess.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't hear the reasoning. All you said was, well, I can take the dog wherever I want to take the dog. It doesn't matter where I take the dog. You always want to argue about something. Every time you turn around, you want to argue.
That wasn't what said. It's just I'm stepping in the mess.
And so now I can't even express that I don't like that I have to step in mess every morning.
Right.
Because if I say that, then I want to start an argument. But instead of you saying, oh, well, I didn't know that, the reason why I take them on this side is
Right.
because, and then guess what I can say? Well, you know what? Now that I know that's the reason, I just watch out. But no, 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 no. Conversation couldn't go that easy.
Right. And this too. Like
Because you were
it's
listening to respond and not understanding.
right, but then projected on you.
Like I'm the one want to start the argument when all I said was I just don't want to go and have to rub my shoes every day. That's all
Right.
I
The
said.
Bible said, "Don't let the sun go down on your wrath."
Yeah.
Some,
So
I'm
yeah,
kidding. So, am I sinning? Because that's the only way it's gonna be handled.
that's the only way. I don't understand.
The sun gonna
Like
have to go down on it. 'Cause
it's gonna
ain't
have to
gonna
go
be no
down.
conversation. Ain't gonna be no ending. Ain't gonna be
Mm-mm.
no number four. Has my partner become silent? If so, why? Come on,
Mm-hmm.
y'all. Y'all on here? Why?
Touche.
Why?
And you'll
Why?
be
I'm gonna tell
surprised
you.
how
Some
simple
people
that.
use it. Some people use it as a tool to control.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do that to women so long, after a while, they don't care if you talk or not. We just being straight up.
Nope. And what we
It's
honestly
giving.
find out, women, y'all ain't gotta say it. I say it for y'all. I ain't gonna get no whoop. Listen, and a lot of times the reason we don't care is because finally we done found some peace. When we realize that we ain't gotta focus on the negative coming out your mouth and we can just lolly dolly, let us find some
You
peace and
so
watch our fast. Watch it.
you so crazy.
You ain't gotta say nothing. You ain't gotta say, man, you'll come in that house and she'll be around there like Mary Poppins.
Thank you,
I
Jesus.
ain't gotta
Good,
hear his mouth today.
good. You so crazy. Pie, my son. I love you. I ain't gonna let her. I ain't gonna let her be saying that. She ain't talking about you though. She just talking in general.
uh,
But yeah, it bees. Y'all, we went over our time, y'all. I hope y'all still with us tonight. And check us out on YouTube. Check us out on it'sbeenajourney.com. Check us out on Spotify with the We have a streamlined version on there too. I'm gonna put this one on there too. If you missed it, I mean some gems dropping because people want to get married,
Mm-hmm.
right? And let me tell you, I can tell you, I've been married a few times
And I've
and
been married a
divorced,
long time.
right? And it ain't something that I always just wanted one husband.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be like my mom. That's the only man she ever been with. That's the only man she married, the man that she loved, and it still ended in divorce. That's just a whole nother story.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have to talk about that. And and in fact, when I found out that was the only man she ever been with, I was like, wow, that's what I want. Only one man. Well, it didn't work out like that, but you know. But marriage is a twofold into one. Because you got two different households, two different upbringings, two
Mm-hmm.
different ideology. I don't care. We can read the same Bible. And if we're not working to get a firm foundation in the word, that means I'm talking to my saved people, preachers, teachers, reachers, gap dwellers, gatekeepers, prophets, apostles, bishops, whatever you want to call yourself. If we not on the same page, even in God, it's still gonna be friction.
Mm-hmm.
Because even in churches, you have narcissism, huh? You have that grandiose mindset, same as in the world. If we don't communicate, and when one or the other change for the better, and we don't try to be, get a grips of what's going on, you missing out. Because if that person can't have confidence in you, even if that's the wife or the husband,
Yeah.
you're gonna have a problem in your marriage. And marriage ain't for the faint at heart. It ain't no buying no $10,000 dress. It's trying to hold true to what it is. Now I said mine did end in divorce. They did. But guess what? I God didn't give me no pain on it. I cried them days and it went on. The fellowship good, even with the current situation. That's how I knew God didn't add no sorrow to it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But you want to get married thinking everything gonna be rainbows and roses. No, because you got some men, they can love you, but they don't even know what real love is because the love they had got was tainted. Put that on a t-shirt and print that for me. The love they got was
Like
tainted.
that.
So they giving you tainted love because they
Mm-hmm.
don't really know what love is. So you sitting there trying to work it out, trying to pray, trying to do
And
this, but
then
this
they would tell you that your version of love isn't real.
isn't real because they don't know what it is. Now, you could sit there for 45 years. If they don't submit to God and get that thing together, you're going to sit there 45 years miserable.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to say, like I told my, that ain't going to be me. Now, Lord, I repent if I'm wrong. Okay? But
Mm-hmm.
but as I just I've seen so much, not just in what I experienced. I've seen where there was marriages that both couples was cheated because one cheated, so the other one said, "I'm a cheat," and I've seen them have kids on each other. I've seen couples cut and shoot each other. I've seen people fight all, and I'm talking about this me growing up with people I know, people I seen from Baltimore all the way to Mississippi, and they stay together, and it's not real love, but it's their kind of love, right? They go off with other people, but they come right back because
Mm-hmm.
it ain't the person they love. They didn't fell in love with the toxicity. Then I have some people that had love and it was so toxic, but now they flourishing in it. Now their marriage flourishing. But guess what? It's so much weight and soot at the bottom of it. They didn't. I don't know. I could say they forgave each other. They building up and everything. But if you don't think marriage, if you, I'm gonna say, if you think marriage a bed of roses, no. Some of them gonna have soot. Some of them gonna have some crazy things going on. It's about what you feel you could take. And the Bible say, "To death do you part." But guess what? Sometimes God said, "No, they ain't gonna change," because He know the ending before the beginning. He knows the hairs on the head. And sometimes He say, "You know what? I know they heart. I'm gonna pull you out of here. He'll put an unction on you to pray, and then God pull you, and then you say, I did it. I stayed 9 years, I stayed a little longer. And instead of that, guess what he told me at the end? He said, I kept doing that to you because it seemed like nothing was gonna break you.
Mm.
So a person that's trying to show love, you just kept doing it to break him because he had tainted love. That men have it too. That's how women want to be in an abusive relationship because they got tainted love,
Mm-hmm.
whether it come from their house or the outhouse. Men have it too. So our last question: am I loving them in their language or mine? Oh my God! Most people, that's what we doing. We loving them in our language. That's
Yeah.
why we perceive on things according to how we would do stuff. And we can
Yes.
love that way. But guess what? What if you got a person with tainted love, but you trying to pure love? Now you don't want to give them taint. So now you can't give them nothing.
Hmm. And then especially using your love language as theirs. That's how I almost lost my husband if we're gonna talk about it.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's literally how, because I was loving him the way I wanted to be loved when it did absolutely nothing for him. And it
Right.
allowed somebody else to walk right in and give him exactly what it was he wanted, all because I didn't ask him if what I was doing was what he needed.
Right. And if they ask you, man, if the wife asks you,
Please
tell them.
say it. Please tell them. Don't make us have to put together a Rubik's Cube with a crossword and then we gotta go on a whole marathon to find out. Then you
Tell
mad
them.
at us because we don't know. I just asked
Right.
you three
And
months
if you
ago.
don't know, we can figure it out together. That's what marriage is.
Mm-hmm.
But like she said, she will love and predicate on how she love, and I did it too.
Mm-hmm.
I did it. I predicated loving on what y'all. Wait, the book gonna come out about my grandmama. Okay, I was loving according to my grandmama said, cook them in the way to a man heart through his stomach. Where the stomach at then? Cause it must be going through his back. He still was cheating.
And mine was, and I talked about this on a previous podcast. My husband had lost his grandma, and I was doing everything I felt like I needed to do as a wife to comfort him and to console him when he was looking at everything as I was doing as annoying as all I knows. I promise you, he probably walked in the house, and I remember him looking at me just like, "Why are you doing all this?"
Mm-hmm.
And in my mind, it's like, "Cause I love you."
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't what he needed. He didn't need that.
Right.
He didn't need none of that stuff I did.
Mm-hmm.
But because of the lack of communication, he never told me that. That only came about after the big blow up,
Right.
after the
And
big kabloom.
after the
Now it's
big kaboom.
saying, now it's the, well, I didn't like that. I wanted you to do more of this and more of that, so you couldn't tell me.
Mm.
And you hear me keep saying, do you need anything? Is there anything I can do? Y'all, I'm goofy. Don't mind me, but these arms look good. But okay, anyway. So, but instead of you just telling me that, you just let me continue in my own delusion that I'm doing everything I can to say I'm going up this mountain to save my marriage.
Right.
And the whole time you sitting up there looking at me like, I wish she would stop. I wish she would
Uh,
just not do that.
just say it.
Just say
Like,
it, boo.
right. Like,
Because
that's
I
all.
don't know how you want to be loved unless you tell me how you want to be loved.
Right. Because if not, I'm a love you the way I think what love is.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
we said earlier, we talk, we love on each other. We don't have a problem saying I love you. We don't
Or
have a
I'm
problem.
sorry.
But I'm saying if when she start changing for the good and you start cutting her, wanting that old girl back, just like when a person like I'm gonna tell you this, and I don't think I ever said this before. Thank God just brought it back to me. My first two marriages wasn't because of the divorce didn't come because of the cheating. It came because of who they met is wasn't who I end up being.
Mm-hmm. I can attest to
See,
that. I saw it.
yeah. When they first met me, I was pop locking and dropping. I was in the club. I was on Newport short in the box or black in mine. My kids didn't know that until they got grown. But anyway, I ain't no cursor, so
We'll
but
talk about that on a whole nother podcast.
right. So I was clubbing when they first met. Cause one met me in a club, told me, I'm gonna marry you, you my wife.
Mm-hmm.
He said, you my wife. Okay. But anyway, past everybody else. And he said, I'm gonna marry you. I said, no, I don't know you like that. I don't mess with no hair white people. I don't do that. Get on out. And he looked me up and found where I live, came to my hometown.
Mm-hmm.
We clubbing, we still partying, we playing spades, we playing domino. Now I was raised in holiness. So y'all, these for my sanctified, raised people. Okay, I ain't say you have dedicated your life because some might be still out there pop locking. But let me tell you, train up a child in the way she go. When they get old, they will not depart from it. For all my Christian brothers and sisters, Kojic, Baptist, Pentecostal, second, first, third, and the last one. Let me tell you something. When you out here pop locking and dropping, it's gonna come a time. I don't know if you may not accept it or not. There's gonna be a call on your life. When you accept it, you no longer gonna be that person that they married. You're
Mm-hmm.
gonna be somebody else. And if they're not ready to submit to Christ and submit to who you are, you're gonna have a problem. That most time when they step out of marriage, because they back pop locking, they still drinking they cools, they 45. I don't know what they drink now, they Heineken. And they back out there and them girls dropping like my wife used to do. She laugh and treat me like my wife. We could club like that. That's why most of them go to the family function. They keep you in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm?
Mm-hmm.
Because who they
And
married wasn't that girl that was raised in Church of God in Christ. It was that girl they saw down there to touch a clay.
and then one thing I could say, being your child and watching you navigate those marriages, and I don't know if you saw it, but we did. Every marriage, mama got closer and closer to God. Every last one. The first one, like she said, very much still popping like a drop, is still going out. The second
Percolate,
one, right? The second one, every blue moon, but it was mainly hangout. Houses and chilling.
domino,
Right, chill.
what that thing I used to do? I had to go to rehab for that. With the Dobbers,
Oh, talking about bingo.
bingo.
I even went to bingo, y'all. But listen, then by the third one, she was even closer to God, to where now she ain't doing none of that.
Mm-hmm.
But every now and then we can still get it to percolate every blue moon. Every blue moon we can still turn it on and she'll get out there and percolate for us. But each one she growed in Christ, and each marriage, once she reached a certain milestone in God, it's like the marriage is wasted away because they did not want to go along with the change that was happening.
Mm-mm. And God will blessing, and yeah. But
Because
that's
they were still in love with whichever version of her she was when they got together. That's who they wanted instead of
mm,
elevating with her. Because
right.
all of them knew that she was raised in church, Holy Ghost back filled, fire baptized, shoved up in my bones. They all knew the background,
Mm-hmm.
but none of them wanted to really see what she was in that background.
Mm-hmm.
So even if, depending on the change, if they don't want to change with you, you're gonna have to choose either Jesus
Choose you this day
or them.
who you will serve. Right. And a lot of marriage now you have some that hang in there.
Hmm.
They hang in there with what their wife in ministry or their husband. They hang in there with them and praise God and pray that they come on in. But you know the word said the saved wife or the saved husband and the unsaved are sanctified by them, right? But
Hmm.
then if they start warring against
Right.
that in you, God
Right.
ain't gonna let that be because now you're not warring just against your wife or your husband. You warring against my calling.
Hmm.
You warring against my ministry, huh?
Hmm.
When Elijah called fire from heaven, he burnt all of them, not just the altar, even the false prophet that were warring against his word. He burnt all that up, and
Hmm.
them. He killed it all. So that's just like when you marry somebody. That's why I tell people it wasn't all them who they met. They didn't meet the real me. They met the manufactured me.
Mm-hmm.
So it ain't all about them cheating on me. I wasn't who I was supposed to be when they met me. And
Yep.
then I repented and gave God my life, and they wasn't ready for that. Oh, we wasn't ready for that.
So
Oh, we need to talk
when
about this. This is gonna, we don't have to talk about it. Our next episode, Sherelle, come back next week. We gonna talk
so
about that.
when it all boiled down, regardless of which way the change come, if you want your marriage to make it and you want your marriage to flourish, you guys have to try to work through that change together, whichever way that change mean. If your partner is changing for the worse, that's where you come in and encourage them. Hey, I don't like this version of you. Can we talk about it? What's going on? Because I've seen that you've been this way. If they're changing for the better, don't get jealous and envious. Jump on the bandwagon and change too. You reap the benefits if they reap them. So don't let jealousy and envy causes you to make them feel as if though their growth isn't warranted of anything.
Mm, mm,
So
mm,
change is all about how you make it. Either you're gonna make the change work for you, or either the change is gonna break you. The change is gonna come. It's just all about how we navigate that change. And men, a lot of times when it comes to navigating change with your women, again, a lot of times we just want to blow the hot air. That's the truth.
mm.
That's just
That's
the truth.
it. That's it.
And when
We
we
just
blow
gotta
the
go and
hot
talk.
air, right,
We
just
just
give us a chance to talk. And once we blow the hot air, don't be ready to combat back with us, even if you don't understand what we so upset about. Well, baby, I hear you. What can I do to help you?
mhm.
If she say I don't know, well, whenever you get it, come to me. Let me hug you, buy you something to eat. Y'all know we easy.
That's
We
that's that's
the
it.
cheat code. A right, up, down, jump. That's it.
That's it. So, Father God, we come to you tonight asking for your understanding in our relationship. Teach us how to love the right way, not just our way. Help husbands to dwell with their wives according to knowledge, and help wives be more understanding and relaxed with their husband. Lord, to be patient and attentive and covering his wife and us being submissive to our husband. Help women to communicate with clarity and grace without fear of being misunderstood and mishandled. Remove the pride and assumption and emotional laziness within the marriage. God, restore curiosity and love, restore safety and communication, and restore unity where there has been distance. Let our relationship reflect your design, intentional, secure, and full of truth. In the mighty name of Jesus, I pray. Amen. Listen, you don't
Amen.
lose a woman because you didn't love her. You lose her because you stopped learning her. And once she feels unseen long enough, she may still be there physically, but emotionally she already gone. Listen, men, if y'all want to be on here to give y'all side of the story, holler back. I'm gonna make sure Sherelle be here because we want it both sides. Because we do have
Mhm.
some women that don't give a hill of beans about what a man feels. He changed, and you be like, you went had 100K job, and you went and got a 50K job. You got some women that will leave you. Okay.
Mhm. Mhm.
So even if you want to be on, tell your homeboys, tag them in. Remember,
Yeah.
we on YouTube, itsbeenajourney.com. We also on Spotify, TikTok. Uh, this was awesome tonight. We're gonna talk about are they meeting next week, Sherelle?
All
Next
right.
week. Oh, you're gonna be on the cruise. When y'all get back?
I'ma be on the cruise. Let's do it the week after.
The week after, we're gonna talk about are you introducing the real you
Or the
or the
manufacturer you.
fabricated you. Right. We're gonna get it together. We got 2 weeks to get it together. But I'll see y'all next week on It's Been a Journey podcast.
See
Until
y'all
next time,
later.